My name's Ryan Horgis. I've been at the Well since 2013, about 7 years now, and I have served a brief stint in kids, probably 1 month, and then I've been on the greeting team about the whole time that I've been at the Well.
I am Maren Horgis. I have been going to the Well for 7 years. Ryan and I serve on the hospitality team.
One of our spiritually significant moments, I think, was going through the Well in the marriage counseling portion of it, and kind of preparing for marriage, and then ultimately being married sort of within the Well. We, all of the people we met at the Well that were, in our missional community at the time ended up at our wedding. So being able to witness us and grow us in our marriage and hold us accountable has been one of my favorite spiritual, blessings from the Well.
I like the story too. Ryan, before he proposed to me, he got the ring, and then we went to the Well's 2-year birthday party at the time. And I like the story that the first person he told that he was going to propose to me was Matt Patrick, which just cracks me up. I'm like, oh, awesome. Matt has been in the know for longer than I have. Cool.
Yeah, so I grew up in the church, you could say, from a young age, and I feel like even from a young age, the church helped teach me what giving was, and it was always, what tithing means and what that means, and it kind of convicted me because, I like to say that I became a Christian at a young age, so I always felt like the obedience in doing that, and it stayed with me through all my years to the point, when I made my own decisions. As soon as I got my first job, it was, well, this is where that goes. It has to go there. Whether it be, even when I didn't have a home church, I found a place to give to the Lord, and not oh, I don't have a church right now. I don't need to, I don't have anything to give. Well, it was always a portion pardoned off for God. So I like to say obedience is a big part of my story.
Ryan is definitely just inherently more generous than I am. It's one of the things I love about him. God has had to do more work in my heart in this area, which is great. I am happy to grow in this area, and I'm happy to have Ryan by my side as I grow. But I think Ryan has really led the giving charge for our family, and I have gone along with it kind of dutifully. And I am excited now to take more of an active role in how we give our money and give our time and give our talents to the Lord.
When By Any Means was introduced to me, it kind of is a reflection of this is our goal in the gospel, and we'll get there by any means. And how can we apply that to ourselves? Is definitely, a reflection. And we're going through the process of building a house, and I'm trying to think of well, how can I use this process, which, is expensive and all that, and really turn that around and be well, it's not all about me, but it's by Jesus using it by any means as well. Is there a way that we can, take some burden off the Well by hosting someone there, or being an open environment to hopefully welcome more people into the Well and find more Christians that can grow the Well, financially, so that we can have a bigger impact on the state of Colorado as well.
2020 is just kind of a funky year, and I like the reminder that, circumstances aside, by any means, we're going to pursue Jesus, and we're going to pursue the resurrection, and we're going to do that through generosity, and that has multiple implications. But I think, for me personally, I get really wrapped up in my little insular world and my work, and by any means, to me, means that circumstantially outside of my little insular world, Jesus is doing bigger things, and we are going to pursue that by any means. Hearing the sermon today and just being reminded of this sort of cultural upheaval that we're in the midst of, and there's all of these false gods that everyone is believing. I think that we fall into this trap of like, I am going to bet on myself, and by any means suggests that we need to bet on God because he is the only one that won't let us down.
I think, yeah, it is a situation in which our culture of this town is to, bet on yourself and grind hard for yourself. But it really, as Christians, we need to focus on like, God is really the only person we can bet on. He's not going to let us down. You're going to let yourself down. And I think, by any means is challenging you to put everything in perspective. Like, well, you're betting on God. Entrepreneurials, you're grinding all of your time. So where are you going to put that and see the fruits of your labor? And God's an easy bet, I think, that, if you believe in Him and are, a Christian, that is, bringing that back to yourself to remember, oh yeah, this is always going to pay out if I bet on God.